I got a bone to pick with y'all men. Why is it that y'all like to throw out compliments to women, telling them how beautiful they are and how you like the way they look and blah 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 blah, but you don't ask for their number? Like, can you tell me why that is? You just want to be nice, throw out a compliment today, or you're scared? Which one is it?
So we're going to take this from two different perspectives. One, mine, right? Sometimes, yeah, just want to compliment you. Like if I came across you, saw you in the wild, and like, okay, I'm not usually here. I'm not, or the chances of us meeting again maybe so slim. These are things that automatically went through my mind. So it's just a simple, yeah, man, let me just throw you a compliment, especially when you hear all the time how women feel about, men in the wild and how they feel it's a danger, how they feel like they don't want this, or they do want this. But sometimes, yeah, it's just a simple compliment because, hey, I think you're well put together. I think you're gorgeous. I think you're beautiful. But I don't have space I may not have space in my life right now for that. I may not have the time. I may not have the bandwidth. I may not have the energy. But if if you get a compliment, and I think for men, sometimes we do this because we know what a compliment feels like. We know what that actually does for us because it's such a rare thing for men to get that. Again, I'm speaking for myself. If it's a rare thing to get a random compliment with nothing else behind it. So we say it. So we give that. Sometimes you just want to put a little good out there, not as if that you're expecting it to go further. And again, I think this is learned behavior from listening to women over time. Yeah, sometimes you just want to hear that. We know the attention, the validation means something. Here it is. And it's free. Like by free, I mean there's no strings attached, there's no consequences behind it. There's no expectation. Hey, I said this now. Now I want to get your number. Now I'm using it to stop you where you are and start spitting that game. No, it's just here you go. I think I think you're gorgeous. Right. Oh, thank you. And about to right. Oh, have a good day. Sometimes it's just that simple for men. And I know that's a hard thing to believe when you've come to a point where you're watching everything on social media and it's making you think that men are all cut from the same cloth, that men are the monolith and they all behave the very same way. Where they're just here to extract something from you, leave you destitute, leave you barefoot and pregnant, and then leave you as a single mom. But some of us are just like, hey, listen, I, I've got a lovely sister, I've got a great mom, I've got great women in my life. So sometimes it's just giving a compliment and going about your business. I always thought that it was something that received well, that women just say, oh wow, I appreciate that. Not that, and I'm not saying, of course, I'm not saying this is for all women, how you move, how you operate. But if it's leaving like the question, if there's enough for someone to make this little TikTok throwing that question out there, why do you do that? Yeah, sometimes you just want to be nice. Sometimes the idea of just being nice to a stranger is you just being nice to a stranger. Figured it's easy, it's free, doesn't cost you anything. But again, so we're gonna do this two ways, right? This was my point of view, and you guys in the comment section, you can talk about what it may mean for you, or you may be like, yeah, I don't talk to women at all, right? I don't, no, never. I'm not with it. Some of you have that stance, and that's fine. I'm not here to judge, not here to look at that. But I will take a look at the comment section because sometimes I think we all do that same thing. We'll see a topic, we hear something, we'll see something, and then we'll go straight to the comment section. So this would be one of those. Uh, so one of the most liked is what's the point? They're just going to proceed to tell us how much it costs to talk to them. That has echoed so many other comments say that very same thing. Because as soon as we get to texting, a bill is due, and this is a consequence of again some of that stuff that we all kind of push out onto the internet, where making it seem like yes, in order to talk to me, you have to be an asset in my life. You have to remove some sort of bill, right? There's got to be a tangible reason for me to talk to you, and this is an ongoing sort of saga sort of topic where I know it's not every woman that says or believes or thinks these things. We're never saying that. What we're saying is that it starts with a few. Like if you take like say Sheer Seven's Sprinkle Sprinkle, that's one woman that started that, and then that goes viral and that gets repeated and that gets pushed further and further and further. That is what causes a lot of people to adopt these ideas and mannerisms and thought processes absent their own. and then put that forward and then think that makes sense for their life. So if a reason men don't even, when they see you, they may just say something and not ask for a number or not proceed because they're walking around with that same trauma, that same baggage, that same thought process, that same programming that you just, you're only engaging with me because you need something paid, you need something taken care of. There's no real connection, there's no real attraction here. Or the first thing is I have to pay for something, in order for anything to proceed. And a lot of comments say that very same thing. Um, so another one saying, ask for a number costs money. Um, and some other guys sort of, repeated something I said similarly. Maybe we're just not in a space to deal with a woman seriously. Yeah, yeah. I think that comes that comes a real level of maturity when you don't have the time, when you don't have the space, when your attention focus is being pulled elsewhere, and more specifically, how you are in relationships. You know how distracted and off the path you can become when you get in a relationship. If you know you have a subordinate personality to someone else's, hey, she's in my life. All I want to do is make her happy. All I want to do is spend time with her. Well, I know on just hearing that sounds great for a woman. Like, yeah, who wouldn't want that? But sometimes men know I'm in a season of my life where I should be grinding. I should be working. I should be hustling. I should be putting everything I can into this. And when a man actually realizes that and sticks with that, he knows, okay, everything else becomes a distraction. Everything else becomes an absolute distraction. This is the only thing I have to do. I think more secure men have the ability to just say a compliment. Hey, man, you're gorgeous, and keep it moving. Because we know it's a compliment. It's not an invitation. It's not an invitation we're asking for. We're just saying, hey, that's observable. Right? Yeah, wow, cool. You know, and we're just gonna keep it moving. Wow, that's it. And I think that's healthy, right? I think that's normal, or that should be normalized. Um, I think sometimes when we're looking at it as if there's such a dearth of men approaching, then men asking for the number, then men planning dates, and then men do it. It seems like there's let's call it what it is. I think it's an artificial um it's an artificial lack because it's still happening. People are still coupling up. We're moving into the colder weather, so it's going to be cuffing season soon. So we know it's happening. We know it's happening. So it's not like this is such a thing that happens all the time. Yeah, I think it happens few and far between. I don't think men in mass are throwing out compliments and keeping it moving, but if they are, take it for what it is. Hey, every something about you look great. Take that in stride, be happy with it, and keep it moving. If he wasn't in a space to talk to you, to actually have space for you in your life, then that's one of those things that the men are just sort of excluding themselves, and that's less work for you to think about. So if you agree with me, let me know in the comments. If you listen to my voice and you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Right? What are you doing? Right? We have fun over here. We're trying to have more nuanced sort of discussion. So stick around. Throw that subscribe. And if you see any videos on your screen right now, go ahead and take a look. Let me know what you think of those videos too. I'll see you in the next one.